Hey everybody! Hi there! It is the Morning Night Live. Now right now, this is weird. There's only 4 people here, so the notification must not have gone out. But I did tweet it. Becca Farley tweeted it. All kinds of people doing the thing, right? Maybe it's just not showing up, but that's okay. I'll play the intro and see if anyone shows up in a minute. But those of you who are here, hi there. Good morning. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Night. Stop the music. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Night, on this lovely, lovely Thursday, the 5th of March, 2020. How's everybody doing? I see people are slowly rolling in. Boy, I'll tell you what, we were doing all this Super Tuesday stuff yesterday, and oh my God, are the claws out today. Now we saw, I see, Monkey said to go watch me. Okay, I didn't know Monkey was streaming right now. Hey, the claws are out. When we watched that Chank video yesterday and he was bitching about Joe Biden, that little section where he was bitching about Joe Biden, and he said, how can this guy, with all these things going on, and I don't know how many, he does all this, he's almost, has dementia. You know how Chank talks. Well, it's just insane that people haven't noticed all these little Joe Biden gaffes before now. And I told you, well, you guys know, Joe Biden, I think he's hilarious. It's funny as hell, but it's not going to be funny when he gets into a debate with Donald Trump, or he keeps talking. The more he talks, they kind of hide him. You don't see Joe as much as everybody else. And I just wonder, I have this really strong feeling that perhaps, just perhaps, the media is, if Joe does become the nominee, the media is going to try and hide him as much as they can. And that's just, it's just kind of my feeling. All right. But anyway, let's get into it. But before we do that, obviously we're going to say good morning to everybody who is here. People slowly rolling in. Good morning to Richo, who gets the bell. My friend from down under was here first. And good morning, Advocatus Diaboli, Maniac Man, Gunfox61. Let's see. D.I. Freighter, hello. D.I. Freighter Watcher. Patrice, by the way, D.I. Freighter Watcher, if you're wondering, she has videos of like barges and ships out in the Great Lakes. and I've been meaning to share this one video with you, D.I. Freighter, that I keep forgetting. I might just post it on my channel. It's the lift bridge in Duluth, Minnesota, and there's this 900-foot freighter that's coming through, and I got to find that video, but I think you'll like that video, and then it goes on past the lighthouses in Duluth. Pretty cool scene. Anyway, also good morning to Patrice Ripley, my resident K-pop aficionado, who tells me that BTS is crashing YouTube again. Yes, BTS is putting out videos and they're getting like 10 million views in like 4 or 5 minutes. Like people go crazy for BTS. I don't quite get it. Well, they're a bunch of pretty Korean boys singing and dancing like any boy band does in the history of boy bands, but they are a phenomenon. Anyway, moving on. Also, good morning to Zero the Hero, Mitch the Ripper, Cynical Lindsay Kessler, Chi-Town Jay. Let's see. I'm just scrolling down. Mike Savage, how you doing? That's, you know what? That's everyone in the chat right now. I'm sure I'm having some monkey lag. Oh my gosh, monkey lag. That's that's an interesting way to put it. But I'm having some monkey lag today because sometimes when Monkey and I stream at the same time, a lot of people hang over there with Monkey. But anyway, that's okay. I'm still doing my show. I also have a mild programming note or a channel note. So I think was it Monday? Maybe it was, I think it was Monday that I did the stream where we watched the 60 Minutes interview of Bernie Sanders. Anderson Cooper interviewed Bernie Sanders. And I got a copyright claim on that video from CBS News. And so they blocked my video, my stream from that day worldwide. Well, I checked this morning, which it's funny, they give you a notice when you get the copyright claim, but they don't give you a notice when your dispute of that copyright claim is resolved and the video is back up. So I'm going to probably be promoting that video. They put it back up. So if you haven't seen that critique of the Bernie Sanders interview, the interview is pretty interesting. Lots of just clearly not. Oh, BTS isn't K-pop. Well, I'll get back to that. I went ahead to go back and watch it myself to see what I said about that interview, and I wasn't necessarily prophetic, but I'm going to start posting clips of that video on Twitter because that I think is a pretty good video. Anyway, gayest person on YouTube, thank you. That's so kind. Good morning, by the way. This is the gayest person on YouTube who says PDawg greater than Monkey. I feel so. I'm verklempt. Anyway, all right. So anyway, yeah, that video is back up. You can go watch it if you haven't already seen that interview. I think it's very telling of Bernie Sanders. And actually, it even brought me, as I watched myself talking about that as it was playing, I also came up with more questions. That was fascinating. Also, another thing that it didn't dawn on me until I watched a video by Razorfist concerning Klobuchar. Was it Razorfist? I think it was Razorfist video about Amy Klobuchar dropping out of the race. If you remember, when Amy Klobuchar was going to hold a rally here in the Twin Cities, and it was the same time on Sunday night, right? And Sunday night was the night that that Pete Buttigieg decided to suspend his campaign and endorse Joe Biden. And it never clicked in my head that it's kind of weird that Amy Klobuchar would come back to Minnesota and hold a rally a couple days before Super Tuesday, when in theory she should have Minnesota at least be one of the top 2 candidates in Minnesota. And so one thing that this Razor Fist video brought to my attention was, yeah, she was actually scheduled to be somewhere else on that Sunday. And so she was down, I want to say somewhere in Alabama. And suddenly she took a flight to Minnesota, decided to have this rally in Minnesota, but the rally never happened. Why? Because Black Lives Matter took over her stage before the rally got started, because they're protesting the conviction of this kid who got convicted for murder and has a life sentence, and now they're saying there might be some other evidence that didn't happen or whatever, and they're blaming it on Amy Klobuchar. So her rally in Minnesota never happened. And then the next day, on Monday, Amy Klobuchar suspends her campaign. It never dawned on me that when she abruptly went to Minnesota to have this campaign rally, or whatever she was doing in St. Louis Park, Minnesota, which is a suburb of Minneapolis, I think that campaign rally was to announce that she was suspending her campaign. And it never happened because Black Lives Matter took over her stage, and they never really negotiated getting them off the stage. They were demanding that she drop out of the race. She never got to get on stage to give her speech. And her speech was probably to drop out of the race. Isn't that ironic? Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's a little ironic. Yeah, I really do think. It's like a rain on your wedding day. Yes, I have my reparations coffee. A free ride when you're already paid. Good advice you just didn't take. But who would have thought it figures? Okay, my Alanis Morissette imitation probably isn't up to speed. But hey, I think I sound good singing that song. By the way, remember the Morning Night Live sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. This show is sponsored by viewers just like you. In fact, you're right there. Please support the show with your donations. And if you have super chats read live on the show, click the link in the chat or in the description down below. Also, please share the stream with people you know and interact with on the internet. It takes just a few clicks to hit the share arrow down there and send it out to those social media places that you go. And if you like what we do, make sure at some point during the show you hit that little thumbs up button. All right, let's go. Oh, Maniac, man, that hurts. That hurts. My father loves Alanis Morissette.
Wow.
All right. Anyway, all right. Let's get into today's articles, because now remember yesterday I was talking about how there was some articles on how the turnout in a lot of these states where there are primaries. A lot of these states, there were more people voting in Republican primaries than the entire Democratic field, and how a lot of these states, you especially considering there was 6 candidates or 5 candidates, whatever, on the ballot for the Democrats, and just one really, the incumbent president. You would think that, who's going to waste their time going to a primary for an incumbent president? And so we're looking at the numbers from all these states, and a lot of the states, more people were turning out for Trump than the entire Democratic field. And there was huge turnout for Trump at these primaries where it really didn't matter, right? Well, today I see this article by Sally Cohn, who, if you don't know who Sally Cohn is, she's an opinion columnist, left wing. No, I shouldn't say left wing. She is a corporate Democrat. Corporate Democrat Sally Cohn. She shows up on CNN once in a while and CNBC once in a while, and she's a talking head and a political pundit, right? Well, she writes an article in the USA Today yesterday that caught my attention just because of the title. Trump got some bad news on Super Tuesday. Democratic voters are eager to show him the door. In a crazy crowded primary election, Democrats show their ultimate goal with high turnout across the country. Now, we looked at the numbers yesterday, right? We looked at the numbers. So she writes, the best news for Democrats in the Super Tuesday results may not be the surge of Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders hanging on, or even Mike Bloomberg dropping out, although I'm personally, this is Sally Cohn saying, although I'm personally extra thrilled about that. Anyway, no, the best news is the record and near record turnout of Democratic voters all across the country. Whoever the eventual nominee is, it's clear that Democrats are fired up and ready to vote to defeat Donald Trump. What? In Virginia, Democratic primary turnout was the highest on record, surpassing the previous record set in 2008. In fact, 23% of registered Virginians cast ballots on Super Tuesday, which almost doubled primary turnout from 2016. Sally, do you know that in Virginia, more Republicans voted in the primary than Democrats? Did you know that? Utah. Now, in Utah, it didn't work out there. Utah saw a turnout in Tuesday's Democratic primary that eclipsed previous turnout for any primary held in the state among Democrats or Republicans. In North Carolina, voter turnout was also up over 2016 numbers, and early voting had a strong surge, with almost twice as many Democrats in the state casting early ballots. Notice she distinguishes an early ballots compared with the Republicans. Why on earth, if you were a Republican in North Carolina, when you know that Donald Trump is the incumbent, so there's really only one viable candidate on the ballot, why bother mailing in an early ballot? There's no contest in the Republican race. Now, in 2016, that's surprising because, in 2016, both parties had contested primaries. There's no contest in the Republican primary this year. I'm sorry, but Bill Weld, is that his name? And what's the other dickhead's name? Joe Walsh. They were on the ballots, but they've already dropped out of their campaigns. There's no competition for Trump. There's no reason for people to come out and vote for Trump in a primary. Holy shit, is she dumb. Record-breaking voter turnouts. Numbers are still being crunched, but U.S. News & World Report detailed a high turnout across the country. Early evidence suggests that Texas saw an increase of nearly 500,000 primary ballots cast over 2016 numbers. In Maine, turnout was so high, many polling stations ran out of Democratic primary ballots. And that's all on top of record turnout in both South Carolina and New Hampshire. Ooh. Plus, according to Human Rights Campaign, LGBTQ voters doubled their representation in Super Tuesday turnout over previous primary elections. Sally, dear, LGBTQ voters represent maybe 3% of the population, 3 to 5% of the population tops. So, okay. Other outcomes from Super Tuesday primaries are still being analyzed, but the New York Times has reported on how Latino voters are expected to provide a decisive surge in California and Texas and beyond. Yeah. In other words, if you're looking for your silver lining, Democrats, I got it right here. In a crazy crowded primary election in which the only thing Democrats consistently seem to be able to agree is that they want to defeat Donald Trump in the primary elections, Democrats are indeed enthusiastically showing up. Oh my God. Okay, then she goes on. Okay. Oh my God. She's so weird. So let's be honest here. There are and have been some amazing Democratic presidential candidates in this election, but no single candidate has yet galvanized a strong and enduring majority support. That could certainly change any day, but it's notable to see record turnouts in primaries when there's not excitement around some single candidate. Okay, hold on a second. She says, okay, there's no... when there's not excitement around some single candidate driving that turnout, as we saw, for instance, with Barack Obama in 2008, you've got Democrats turning up in record numbers in Utah to nominate Sanders and Democrats turning up in record numbers in South Carolina to nominate Joe Biden. Okay, good Lord, woman. Let's think about this. So Bernie Sanders has a very large and enthusiastic set of supporters. Okay, now you're a Democrat in one of these states. Now notice those numbers didn't happen in Iowa and Nevada or New Hampshire. Okay. Thank you, Chicago Mike, for the super chat, who says, Joe Walsh is my favorite Eagle. Yes, life's been good to me so far. Okay, so think about this. Okay, so since the first few primaries and then with Joe Biden taking that surge in South Carolina, right? Because the Bernie people have people coming out and the other people see that and they're like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell to the nizzo. We need to get out here and make sure that Bernie Sanders isn't our nominee. So yes, there is some panic amongst the Democrats, right? There is some panic among the Democrats and who don't want Bernie. And then the Bernie people are saying, wait, no, there's panic because we want Bernie to be the nominee. Of course, there's going to be high turnout. And I think it's going to be high turnout for the rest of the primary season just because now there's a big fight in the Democratic Party between the Bernie supporters and the Biden supporters. Or I should say the Bernie supporters and the corporate Democrat supporters. Okay, because they're panicking that they might get a socialist on the Democratic ballot. So yes, turnout's going to be high. Now, I think, and also in these primaries, turnout's going to be high for the president too. And even though he's the only one on the ballot in the states, they're still even having primaries because the Trump people want to let you know that they're there. Okay, so his very high and loyal following is also going to be coming out. Now, how this translates to the general election, who knows? Who knows? Because as you'll see in a minute, the Bernie people and the Biden people don't like each other. And none of them like the Warren people. Are they going to unify? Or is Milwaukee going to burn? That's my question. I got a feeling that Milwaukee is going to burn a little bit. And I don't mean like feel the burn. I mean like B-U-R-N, not B-E-R-N. But we'll see. I don't know. It's just a prediction. Bernie people are mad already, though. The Bernie people are mad already. They manipulated Pete Buttigieg to get out of the race and Amy Klobuchar to get out of the race and Tom Steyer, whoever the hell that is, to get out of the race. And now all these people that are getting out of the race and who got out of the race a long time ago, beta, are all going for Biden. It's like, what the hell? The Bernie people thought they had it made before South Carolina. Then South Carolina was their warning shot. And now Super Tuesday was their reality shot. But Bernie has a very large loyal following, and they're not going to be deterred. I think they're just going to work on their voter turnout, and they have enthusiastic people to do that. Before I go on, good morning, Uncle Bobbity, my brother. Straight Sith Mail, how you doing? Grillin' Pirate Pete in the hizzo, and Augusto Pinochet. I'm scared. Beta. So anyway, Trump and GOP can't stop. To be clear, there's some clouds in this silver lining. Young voters aren't turning out at the levels that helped put Obama in the White House. Young voters didn't put Obama in the White House. The white suburban moms put Obama in the White House, and as some of us call them MAWs, middle-aged white women, and it's the middle-aged white women rule the world. They determine the elections. But anyway, okay, so the young people aren't turning out. Young voters never turn out. Maybe they'll turn out for Bernie. I don't know. Free college is a pretty potent drug, even though you're never gonna get it. No, you're never gonna get. I'm singing everything today. Everything reminds me of a song. No, you're never gonna get it. Never ever gonna get it. Not this time. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Name the band. That might be obscure for some of you. I don't know. Good morning, Smarty Bear. All right. In Texas, for instance, NBC News exit polls show that the share of Democratic primary voters over the age of 65 was almost twice as high in 2008 and still overrepresented compared to the state's growing younger population. There are also concerns about suppression. Yes, bring up suppression. Part of the record lines reported at polling stations across our nation might have had to do with record turnout, but they also stem from Republicans shuttering polling locations and imposing ID requirements, making voters work even harder and wait even longer to cast their ballots. Oh, did I mention Obama earlier? I forgot. See, every time I mention Obama... Thank you, Green Badger Outdoors. Yes, that is in vogue. You get the bell. All right. Okay, so I laugh because there's that PDawg Abdul. That's funny. So remember the story we kind of showed you yesterday about the guy waiting for 7 hours to get into the ballots, the voting place in Houston, Texas? Did I talk about that yesterday? It was because he was the guy who trended on Twitter. Think about that for a minute. Wait a minute. Who sets up polling stations in Houston, Texas? Who runs the county surrounding Houston, Texas? Oh, wait. Democrats do. Oh, my God. Oh, no, you need an ID to vote. Like those young people don't drink and you don't need one to buy booze. Oh, yeah, oh, God, I hate that. Oh, the ID bullshit. I'm sorry. Don't patronize me and tell me it's harder for me as a black man to get an ID. Shut up. That's a lie. Everybody has ID. Otherwise, a lot of people would be in... Well, never mind. For instance, when CNN's Ed Lavandra tweeted about a man at Texas Southern University who spent nearly 7 hours waiting to be able to cast his vote, Commenter and advocate Keith Boykin noted Texas has closed 750 polling places since 2012. Many. Wow, that's a very specific number. Many in black and brown communities, causing long lines and waits. Oh, it's math. Warren has the chance to unite the left by endorsing Sanders. She's asking Warren to step out. What is extraordinarily and unfortunately clear is that Trump and the Republicans don't want an election that includes every voter and treats them equally, just like they don't want our nation to include all of us and treat us equally. Oh my God. Sad clown music. And while it is not yet clear who Democrats will nominate as our standard bearer to face Trump and the GOP in this existential, epic-defining electoral battle in November, it is increasingly clear that Democrats are fired up. They're fired up. It's fired up for this fight. And in spite of all the obstacles, going to damn well make sure our voices are heard. While we don't yet know who's the ultimate winner of this raucous, energetic Democratic primary, Trump is the loser. Well. Funny she should mention that, because the next article from Rolling Stone magazine, Democrats have a turnout problem. Trump is setting turnout records. The Democrats need to replicate their historic 2008 voter mobilization, but they keep falling short. Wait a minute. What did I just freaking read? From Sally Cohn, Democratic operative. Washington. At his final rally in South Carolina last Friday, Senator Bernie Sanders made a plea to the boisterous crowd gathered to see him. I'm asking you to bring... Oh, no, that's Obama. I'm asking you to bring your friends and coworkers and your neighbors, Sanders said, so we can have the largest voter turnout in history of the South Carolina primary. Yeah, and he got his ass kicked. Sanders isn't alone. It's a staple of the Democratic stump speech that voters must mobilize in historic numbers this year, because this is the most important election of your lifetime. Because every one of them is. Faced with an incumbent president whose supporters are dedicated to the point of fanaticism. Remember, this is Rolling Stone. It's a left-wing magazine. They are going to, this is going to be Trump hate 101. To the point of fanaticism. Yes, the Trump cult. Democrats need massive, if not record-breaking voter turnout in November to pry Donald Trump out of the White House. The opening act of the Democratic nomination fight is now over. The field has shrunk to a handful of candidates. Well, this is, okay, with Tom Steyer, Amy Klobuchar, and Pete Buttigieg dropping out of the race in recent days. The campaign now enters a frenetic period that will see 15 states vote on Super Tuesday. Oh, so this was just before Super Tuesday. And 15 more states and territories hold primaries this month. The campaigns can invest heavily in turnout in those states, given the number of states voting in their geographic distribution. The first 4 states, Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina, are the best indicators of what overall turnout could look like in November. Now, remember, Sally Cohn's article was written after Super Tuesday. This article is written before Super Tuesday. We saw the article yesterday where the turnout for Trump in these unnecessary primaries or whatever is very high relative to prior years and to the Democratic turnout. In some cases, Trump had more votes in the primary than the entire Democratic field combined in some states. Okay, that's just fascinating. I don't know, might be... states where, I don't know, there's a lot of Trump love, okay? And maybe perhaps it's because there's Senate races in those states. I forgot about that. See, here's the thing. it's not just presidential primaries. It's primaries for a lot of different things in a lot of these states. So if there's for example in Alabama, for example, there was a huge Senate primary in Alabama that's turning into a runoff, right? Well, a lot of people went and voted in that Senate primary. Well, of course, they're also gonna just vote for that top ticket while they're there. And it's not like they showed up just for Trump. So I'm not saying that all this turnout is specifically for Trump, but it's unusual. Like, and there was one state where it was, the Democratic turnout was really high compared to the Republican. Maybe those are states where there's not Senate races, or now there's House races in every state, but maybe it's a state where there's not, a lot of contested House races. Who knows? But this here campaigns, let's see. The first four states, Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina, are the best indicators for what overall turnout will look like in November. So what has turnout been like so far? What do those numbers mean for November? Are Democrats on pace to mobilize record numbers of voters, or is it time to freak out? Oh, well, it's Rolling Stone. They clearly want their Democratic establishment publication. Let's start with the Republican Party. Voters have mobilized in huge numbers, even though Trump is essentially running uncontested. The Nevada and South Carolina Republican parties canceled their elections entirely. In New Hampshire, Trump received 129,696 votes, which is more than double of what Obama got in 2012 and George W. Bush in 2004. So Trump people, come out. That's okay. Anyway. Barry Burton, a political scientist at the University of Wisconsin who studies voter turnout, says Trump's huge levels of support defy historical trends about sitting presidents who run for re-election. A sitting incumbent running for the re-election, that shouldn't stimulate much interest, Burton says. It all runs a little contrary to what I think we would have expected. For the Democrats, the story is less rosy. Historic turnout in the 2018 midterm elections and several special elections since Trump took office has not yet translated into similar outpourings of voter energy in the first four primaries and caucuses. Political scientists and voting experts tell Rolling Stone that the turnout so far is good but not great. In several states, more people voted, or a higher share of voting eligible population voted than did 4 years ago. But the numbers have so far not yet met the high watermark of the 2008 campaign. There was a lot of people were excited about Barack Obama in 2008. And the Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama thing in 2008. Was it? No, not 2008. 2008. They're comparing it to 2008, which is weird. Someone said that in the chat, I think, too. Comparing it to 2008, I don't know if that makes sense. But there was a super high interest in that, and I don't, neither Bernie or Joe Biden garnered that much interest. Good morning, Merle Davis. How you doing? Hi, Snugs McLeod. And I think I said, yes, Zero, I got you already. Good morning, Zero the Hero. Anyway, so just a couple days ago, that's the Rolling Stone article. All right, let's get into something else because I'm already bored with this. By the way, a real quick thank you to Becca Farley, who always beats me to the punch, getting the link out to the stream. In fact, if you haven't shared it yet, if you haven't shared the stream out and you're on Twitter, here, someone retweet Becca. I put her tweet in the chat. Right-click that and go retweet Becca. Also, thank you to Necrosaw Collins, MC. Uh-oh, I have a problem. Hang on, folks. This is going to take me just a few seconds here. I have to fix something that's very important to me and important to the success of my show. And so we're going to just take care of a couple little tidbits here while I'm here. Let's see. That's D right there. And I got H right there. And W. Give me one moment, please. It's just only going to take a few more seconds here. What letter is that? That's B. At the bell already works, but I'll just do that anyway. And we got P. Da-da-da-da. And and that one's working. Let's see. Nope, that one's not working. Hang on. Da-da-da-da. X. There we go. All right. I am back. All right, what was I saying? Oh, thank you to MC.
Hammer time.
And Chicago Mike, Skookum, Mitch the Ripper, and my friend Patrice Ripley, who are all have retweeted the show out this morning. I really appreciate that. If you haven't done so already, please do that now while you're thinking about it. Right click the share arrow or whatever, or you can retweet Becca or something. Just let people know that we're here, okay? All right, okay, enough of that. Oh no! I just closed the one I wanted to read. Well, we'll just skip that one. Hey, by the way, perhaps now. The theme of the show today. I haven't even gotten to the theme of the show. Oh, Gunfox. Yeah, you're just loading me up with news, and I'm gonna catch up. By the way, here's a programming note. I'm gonna have a Gunfox day. Because Gunfox sends me so much news on email, and I never get to it. So I'm just have a specific day of Gunfox 61. In fact, Gunfox, you and I might have to go on the show together. We'll work that out. Anyway, thank you so much. And now, by the way, Gunfox, basketball season's over. We can start talking about the Discord thing. My season's finally over. I'll have some more time in the afternoons. Maybe we can put that together. Alrighty then. So my theme today is talking about front runners in the campaign. You know how it seems like every time there's a new front runner in the Democratic primary, they begin to get a lot more scrutiny, right? And so it is that time that now that Joe Biden is again the front runner, I think it's pretty clear that he's about to get more scrutiny. Now I know. Oh no. No music. What the hell where's my music? Oh my gosh. I didn't even hit the... Here we go. All right. The music of the day. I completely forgot. Thank you for reminding me, DI Freighter. No theme, no decorations, no music. What kind of party is this? Oh, y'all, I'm telling you. Oh, you're right. Control T will reopen the recently closed tab. Let's try that. No, that's a new tab. All right, it's Control. Oh, Control Shift T. That's right. Is that the one I want though? And that's turnout problem. There's that one. Oh, that was an article about. Oh, yeah. There we go. So, okay, the theme of the day is scrutiny of Joe Biden. Well, the knives are coming out because Joe's now the new front runner. And we'll start with the New York Post. Democrats should be wary of backing Biden and his senior moments. Nothing that we haven't been talking about for months or years. He's been having senior moments for years, even when he was vice president running with Barack Obama. What Super Tuesday tells us is that a lot of Democrats would rather risk losing to President Trump with Joe Biden than allow a socialist like Bernie Sanders to hijack their party. This is an article by Miranda Devine. I'm not familiar with her writing, but it is a. Let's see. Are they described? Yes, this is an opinion article, but it's very interesting. That's good for America, but it's also a treacherous Hail Mary pass for the party. The 77-year-old former vice president showed why moments after taking the stage in Los Angeles Tuesday night, he mistook his wife for his sister. They switched on me, he tried to explain. Now, look, when I showed you that clip yesterday, that is one of the many, well, not many, but that's one of the ones that I'm going to give him a pass on. Okay, he's excited. They're behind him for the most part. They're not right next to him, and he's not looking at them. And you know what? You can mistake which side your wife was on, your sister, and then when he looked, he's like, "Oh, wait a minute." They switched on me. Not a big deal, but anyway, they switched on me. He tried to explain. He went on to give a good speech about healing the nation and dutifully kept to the script in his teleprompter. But then a protester leaped on stage, and Biden's wife, Jill, 68, instinctively stepped between him and the lunging vegan. Remember when lunging vegan was trending? Lunging vegan, yes, that's that, which would make a great band name, of course. Grabbed the woman by the wrist and shoved her away. It was a heroic performance, but it also showed Biden's peculiar passivity. He just stood there, not reacting, as his wife went into the physical battle for him. Now, to be fair to Joe Biden, I'm pretty sure that, normally he's taught to stay there passively because he's had Secret Service training. And so when something happens around him, normally the Secret Service takes care of it, and the person that they're protecting just waits in their place and follows instructions. So it's probably just a natural reaction from, 8 years of being the vice president. But anyway, when the scuffle was over, he placed a protective arm on her back, but it was as if he didn't realize what had just happened. I don't know if this is a fair article, but we'll see the video again. The truth is that anyone who has seen Biden up close knows he has some sort of cognitive impairment. He often seems bewildered, can't remember what state he's in, if he's running for the Senate or the presidency, or even whether it's Super Tuesday or Super Thursday. On Monday, in Texas, he forgot the words of the Declaration of Independence mid-sentence, substituting the thing for God. We hold these truths to be self-evident, he began, with men and women created by the the thing. It's sad to see the fear in his face when he suffers these senior moments. Everyone has memory lapses, but the problem for Biden is that his are all too frequent and bizarre, and the attempt to explain them away as a function of his childhood stutter are only a temporary diversion. These are not just the tall tales and malapropisms that long have been part of the Biden persona. It's something new. Yeah, there is a difference to these. He says he makes gaffes, but these are really different than they were in the past. But here's the thing. I'm not going to make a professional physician's diagnosis of Joe Biden right now. But you can tell there's something strange, okay? Now, we know he underwent surgery for 2 brain aneurysms in 1988, although his surgeon, Dr. Neil Cassell, recently said Biden did not suffer any brain damage whatsoever. But the kindness that has suppressed any honest discussion about Biden's mental acuity will be swept away if he wins the nomination. The campaign can't keep him in witness protection forever. At some point, he'll be caught without a teleprompter, and an off-the-cuff Joe is a ticking time bomb. Yes, it is. I wish I had an explosion. Whoa, what happened? Where'd my bell go? There it is. And that's, let's see, as soon as voters saw him up close and personal in Iowa and New Hampshire, the lights switched on for them, that the lights weren't all on with him. And that's when his poll numbers started plunging. He was low energy and frequently befuddled. If he were your grandfather, you'd take away the car keys. His aides hauled around the teleprompter to small gatherings so he could safely deliver a stump speech that any other candidate could do in their sleep. But even then, he strayed off course. It got to the point where the Democratic insiders in New Hampshire started a story that Biden's heart wasn't in it, that he was running only to fulfill a promise he had made to his dying son, Beau. To be fair, his team had always said to wait until South Carolina primary, where his appeal to black voters would kick in. Sure enough, 72 hours after resounding victory there, he defied even the most optimistic expectations with his Super Tuesday triumph at the expense of Senator Bernie Sanders. Now he's the comeback kid with Joe Mentum. And part of it is the Democrats are trying to coalesce around the corporate side of their party, the establishment side of their party, the, whatever. They don't want a revolution, and they don't want an autocratic billionaire. So they closed their eyes and signed up for Biden, the Mirage. So this is just one article. Also, if you look at, now this Medium article is especially brutal because this is a article of all of Joe's gaffes. I'm gonna put this one in the chat because I'm not gonna go through all of them, but this is just a sampling of Joe Biden gaffes. So we'll do a couple of these. It would take me all. She has 18 right now, and she's gonna be adding to these on a regular basis.
Vice President, I want to come to you and talk to you about inequality in schools and race. In a conversation about how to deal with segregation in schools back in 1975,
listen to this muddled answer.
Reporter, I don't feel responsible for the sins of my father and grandfather. I feel responsible for what the situation is today, for the sins of my own generation, and I'll be damned if I feel responsible to pay for what happened 300 years ago. You said that some 40 years ago. But as you stand here tonight, what responsibility do you think that Americans need to take to repair the legacy of slavery in our country?
Well, they have to deal with the look.
All right, hold up. You're absolutely right, Gun Fox. There is some breaking news. I'll just read it from the phone here. Elizabeth Warren, once a frontrunner, will drop out of the presidential race. Now, will drop out is an interesting way to put it, New York Times, but let's see what we got here. Ms. Warren, a senator and former law professor, staked her campaign on fighting corruption and changing the rules of the economy. Let's see. Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts plans to drop out of the presidential race on Thursday and will inform her staff of her plans later this morning, according to a person close to her, ending a run defined by an avalanche of policy plans that aim to pull the Democratic Party to the left and appealed to enough voters to make her briefly the frontrunner last fall, but that proved unable to translate excitement from elite progressives into backing from the party's more working class and diverse base. Though her support had eroded by Super Tuesday, her final weeks as a candidate, she effectively drove the centrist billionaire, former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, out of the race with debate performances that flashed her evident skills and political potential. She entered the race railing against corrosive power of big money and one long blah, blah, blah. This is a New York Times article. I don't care about her campaign. Her potential endorsement is highly sought after the race, and both Mr. Sanders and former Vice President Joe Biden have spoken with Ms. Warren since Super Tuesday, with the end of her campaign, when the end of her campaign appeared imminent, but she was defiant after Super Tuesday. That's interesting. Ms. Warren's political demise was a death by 1,000 cuts, not a dramatic implosion, but a steady decline. Last October, according to most national polls, Ms. Warren was the national pacesetter in the Democratic field. By December, she had fallen to the edge of the top tier, wounded by a presidential debate in November, where her opponents relentlessly attacked her. They attacked her. This is a fucking debate. What are they supposed to do? Good God. She invested heavily in the early states with a ground game that was the envy of her rivals, but that did not pay. Well, it didn't pay off at all because she didn't win any of the early states. In the first 4 early voting states, Ms. Warren slid from 3rd place in Iowa to 4th in New Hampshire, 5th in South Carolina. By Super Tuesday, her campaign was effectively over with the final blow of a 3rd place finish in the primary in her home state of Massachusetts. So, she's officially going to be out when they think, well, as they say, by Thursday, but today is Thursday. Interesting. Oh, no, she's going to meet with her staff today. And so they'll probably make an official announcement sometime soon. Oh, hang on a second here. Goodbye, Elizabeth. Though you had a plan for everything, it really didn't matter because a woman can't win, according to Bernie. Goodbye, Elizabeth. I've been thinking maybe you should go back to the teepee and think about the future. Seems to me you lived your life like a feather in the cap or the headdress, or maybe some other place on the map. Okay, enough Indian jokes about Elizabeth Warren. Good morning, Six. Good morning, Johnny Blaze. How you doing? I see you now. All right, so Elizabeth Warren's out. Oh my gosh, this is going to be interesting. Oh my God, let me check Twitter. Hold on. It's time to check the Explore tab. Is she trending yet? Oh, because the Bernie and how did you find that? That Warren out is trending 16. I bet you that's going to be number 1 soon. That's going to be number 1 today. But also Warren out. Oh, they're going to be fighting over who her supporters should go. Now, let's see. Here's one. With Warren out, contested convention chances seem to go down a fair amount. Biden only needs about 51% of remaining unallocated delegates per our count, while Sanders needs just 53.5%. This is a thread here. Hang on. I'll put this on the screen, too, while I'm talking it. Shouldn't be too hard for one or the other to get there with no other competition. These percentages are for all unallocated delegates, including those yet to be awarded from Super Tuesday. Okay, this is fascinating. So now we're down to a socialist who's not going to appeal to the center that much. And Joe, did I remember my pants Biden? Holy shit. Holy shit. Hello, Mr. Scott. Holy shit. You know, it's about to get real interesting for the Democrats. Now, imagine though. Okay, so imagine right now. So Biden's gaffes. We're going to go back to Biden's gaffes. But, you know, Biden has a gaffe a day. But the Democratic establishment absolutely wants Biden. Now, yes, Elizabeth Warren's endorsement is pretty important. Thank you, by the way, Gunfox. Are you on your way? Oh, man. Well, hey, thank you so much, Gunfox, for that breaking news. I really appreciate that. Yes, Warren's endorsement would be huge. But you know whose endorsement is really going to have some meaning right now? Now that there's basically 2 candidates left. The endorsement that said that the person would probably work against Bernie Sanders and for whom former Vice President Joe Biden was vice president for, that would be Barack Obama. Do you think Barack Obama's ready to make an endorsement now that all these other candidates have dropped out? Now, there's obviously Tulsi Gabbard hasn't officially dropped out yet. Is there somebody else? There's someone else who hasn't dropped out yet, but that has... and I'm not talking about Rocky De La Fuente. Rocky De La Fuente has been on every ballot for the last, I think, 4 or 5 elections. He has no chance. And Tulsi, I don't know if she's going to drop out. I can almost guarantee if Tulsi drops out, she will, she'll endorse Bernie. But here's another interesting thing. Tulsi Gabbard is the last woman running. Now, it's funny because I read some tweets yesterday, or this morning, excuse me, bitching about the fact that I can't tell my daughter that she could be president someday if you refuse to vote for a woman. Who was the last nominee for president of the United States for the Democratic Party? I think Hillary Clinton has, the downstairs stuff that makes her a woman. People voted for her, right? Oh my God, the Warren supporters. I don't know what they're going to do. Because half the Warren supporters are establishment Democrats. Half the Warren supporters are, kind of Bernie-esque. Bernie-esque. It sounds like a sauce you'd put over asparagus. Bernie-esque. I'll have some lightly grilled asparagus with some Bernie-esque sauce. Bernie-esque. I think too. Here's the thing. Okay, so the Democratic debates. I think there's still some scheduled, right? I know there's at least there's got to be one or two more. I think they should just open it up to all the candidates who are still running now. I think they should get Tulsi Gabbard on stage. Couldn't you see? Now, obviously, Democrats aren't going to do that because they don't want to see the contrast between Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, and Tulsi Gabbard. Did I say Gabbard? I see Rich put Gabbard in the. Oh, because she's the last woman running. Do you think the Democrats would dare do that just now? Well, everyone's out, and we still have three candidates running. Why not just let Tulsi run? Why not let Tulsi be in the next debate? Ooh, that contrast would be interesting. So anyway, the Democrats are down to two old white men. Oh. Wow. Oh my gosh. You remember what the last candidates for the Republican primary were last time? The last four, in fact. Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, the good surgeon doctor, Ben Carson, and Donald Trump. Far more diverse than this year's Democratic candidates. Two septuagenarians. Oh my goodness, this is just rich. This is just rich. All right. So anyway, the knives are out for Biden. We're looking at Biden gaffes.
There's institutional segregation in this country.
Here, wait. Here's his answer.
40 years. But
here's his answer.
Here tonight,
this is classic Joe Biden.
Do you think that Americans need to take to repair the legacy of slavery in our country?
Hang on. Okay, wait a minute. Before he answers, I got to turn the music back on because we want to have it. I turned the music off. Why did I turn the music off? I can't remember. All right, we're back. All right, let's go back to Joe Biden's answer here. This was great. This is an article just full of Joe Biden gaffes that are going to be used in every commercial for President Trump if Joe Biden's the
they have to deal
nominee.
With look, there is institutional segregation in this country. And from the time I got involved, I started
institutional segregation.
Redlining, banks, making sure that we are in a position where, look, talk about education. I propose that what we take is those very poor schools, the Title I schools, triple the amount of money we spend from $15 to $45 billion a year. Give every single teacher a raise to the equal raise of getting out the $60,000 level. Number two, make sure that we bring in to help the teachers deal with the problems that come from home. The problems that come from home, we have one school psychologist for every 1,500 kids in America today. It's crazy. The teachers
now look at all the other candidates. They're like, what the fuck is he talking about? Here's the other question. At the end of... Okay, I'm going to play this, and I have a question for you after... I'm sorry, I didn't even put it on the screen. I have a question for you when he's done with this answer.
And I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher.
I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. It's funny. That to me is the funniest thing in this answer. There are other things in this answer that are funny, but that one cracked me up. My deceased wife is a teacher. Well, I guess you're not going to have to pay her $60,000 a year.
Have every problem coming to them. We have to make sure that every single child does in fact have 3, 4, and 5-year-olds go to school, not daycare, school. We bring social workers into homes of parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help, they don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. A kid coming from a very poor school, or a very poor background, will hear 4 million words fewer spoken by the time they get there. There's so much. No, I'm going to go like the rest of them do, twice over. Okay.
Okay. Now, question. Here's my question. What was the question? Anybody know from that answer what the question was? I have no freaking idea. No idea. So anyway, that's bizarre. Let's see. Here's the next one. Oh, this is from a long time ago.
If we look at the Middle East, I think it's about time we stop, those of us who support, as most of us do, Israel in this body, for apologizing for our support for Israel. There's no apology to be made. None. It is the best $3 billion.
She's contrasting how he used to talk. She's contrasting how he used to talk. So here's how Joe Biden used to sound.
Investment we make. Were there not an Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect her interest in the region. The United States would have to go out and invent an Israel.
Okay, that's what he used to. That's what he used to sound like. Now here's what he sounds like now.
Than you to be president.
I'm not running against Hillary Clinton. I'm running to lead the free world. I'm running to lead this country. And
this is a few years ago.
Rudy Giuliani.
Look, this is a few years ago.
Probably the most underqualified man since George Bush to seek the presidency is here talking about any of the people here. Rudy Giuliani. I mean, think about it. Rudy Giuliani, there's only 3 things he mentioned in a sentence, a noun and a verb and 9/11. I mean, there's nothing else. There's nothing else. And I mean it sincerely. He is genuinely not qualified to be president. Here's a man who brags about how he made the city safe. It was the Biden crime bill that became the Clinton crime bill that allowed him to do that. They wipe it out. He's remained silent. The 9/11 Commission comes along and says the way to keep your city safe is to do the following things. He's been silent. He's been done nothing. And now he's talking about he's going to go in and he will demonstrate to Iran he's going to, in fact, lay down the law. This man is truly not qualified to be president.
All right, so that's him talking a few years ago. And now here's here's Biden now.
You know, if Bernie Sanders never said he was a democratic socialist, based on what he's saying, people wouldn't be calling him a democratic socialist. That's how he characterizes himself in sort of European terms, the democratic socialist parties in Europe. But
this is 4 years ago too. So
I think that
just 4 years ago,
Bernie
this is Joe
speaking to a yearning that is deep and real.
So we're getting a baseline for Joe Biden,
and that is
of how he could speak
absolute
in the
enormous
past.
Concentration of wealth in a small group of people with the middle class now being able to be shown being left out. There used to be a basic bargain.
All right, so if you get the thing. Now, here's Joe now.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Or this.
Look, tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? And I want to speak directly.
Oh, that look. That look. Wait, watch her look.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Right here.
All men and women created
this
by
one. Over his right shoulder.
Look.
Her right here, look.
Superstar Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I?
Ooh.
And I want to
damn, she's like, oh my God. Here's another one.
And you're the ones that sent Barack Obama the presidency. And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, give me a look, though, okay?
Okay, Joe. We're not sure what that was. Anyway, I put that. I'm going to put that whole thing in the. I mean, I might spend a whole day on this one, but for now, Joe Biden gaffes, and they're just going to keep coming and coming and coming, right? Alrighty then. Let's move on to something else. So the Bernie, remember yesterday we got into that rigged primary hashtag. Bernie and Biden supporters in a massive Twitter catfight. We saw some of these yesterday. There's a bunch though. So again, I said the knives are going to be out for Joe Biden, especially from the Bernie people. They hate each other, but are uniting in blaming the Russians. Supporters of Senator Bernie Sanders and former Vice President Joe Biden are tearing apart each other on Twitter. Even supporters of a Senator of Elizabeth Warren are attacking Sanders supporters over their whining. Bernie bros are upset because Biden surged into first place after Super Tuesday. Here's one. Joe Biden's a totally corrupt war criminal in bed with Wall Street, Big Pharma, and the war industry. Anyone voting for Biden who isn't totally corrupt criminal is completely insane. Rigged primary. It's not just President Trump saying rigged primary. Here's one. Actually, the rigged primary data shows Biden vote came largely from the I got mine, fuck y'all crowd. They have pensions, 401ks. Ironically, most of them have socialized healthcare, Medicare, with a big caveat in the South in states that will vote Republican. Elizabeth Warren took away thousands of progressive votes from Bernie for just staying with no chance whatsoever, resulting in big wins for Biden. Don't tell me this system is not rigged. Not against Bernie, rigged primary. They are salty as fuck. Live stream of Biden stealing Bernie's delegates. Oh, that's that. Remember that? Did you see this? The people in San Francisco where they're not prosecuting anybody? Well, this is the result. People just stealing shit out of the stores. Hang on. There it goes. These people just walk into the store, start stealing shit.
Please leave the stuff.
Please leave the stuff. Nope, they're just going to fill up their bags. They got masks over their face, hoodies on, and they're just going to walk out with shit. Apparently this one...
Oh my God. Call the police.
The police aren't going to do nothing. Hey, this is San Francisco. The police are going to do nothing because they can't. Look, remember when I was in San Francisco last year? We took my son on a great trip. We drove from Portland to San Diego, then to Las Vegas. Well, we spent a couple days in San Francisco, and our first 2 hours in San Francisco, when we stopped to eat lunch, our rent-a-car got broken in and had a bunch of shit stolen out of it, including all my equipment. That's why I've had to replace it since then. And the police just like, you know what? We went into the police station 2 blocks away, and they said, you know what? You're our third one in the last hour. And you know what? You can fill out a report, but there's probably not, there's not probably, you know, there's not going to be, we're not going to find this shit. This happens all the time in San Francisco. Well, now... Oh, San Francisco's a shithole. Quite literally. Yeah, it kind of is. Although, actually, you know what? That was the one thing that I didn't see when I was there that I was expecting. I thought for sure I would see some poop in the streets. Nope, there were homeless people around and stuff, but no poop in the streets, at least when I was there. Maybe it was because, you know, we were down in the areas where they kind of get good at cleaning it up really quickly. But, yeah, we didn't see the poop in the streets. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, we already know that the Bernie people were pretty angry. Let's see what else here. But it wasn't just the Bernie people. The Biden people weren't real nice either. But this one, Bernie Sanders would have nearly swept Super Tuesday. Then the DNC struck deals with the spineless trio Pete, Amy, and Beta. Suddenly Joe is back. What a joke. As if the DNC cares about the will of the people. Well, Campbell, whatever your name is, apparently the will of the people, once you get rid of Pete, Amy, and Beta, the will of the people seems to be swinging a different way than Bernie Sanders. That put an image in my head that I did not need to have. Anyway, this is how I feel and how I will always feel rigged primary. Let's see, DNC. Oh, I can't get the picture up. Here's the picture. Gosh, I hate when it does that. Here's the picture that they supplied. If it pops up, there we go. Full screen that bad boy. This is the DNC. This is fucking Joe Biden. And he threw Joe Biden right down the hallway there. That's what the DNC is trying to feed me. Feed me, Seymour. Oh, but here's some Biden and Warren supporters too. Those were just the Bernie supporters. Now here's some of the Biden and Warren supporters hating on Bernie. Bernie bros are the guys who beg you to go home with them, brag about how great they are fucking, but when they can't perform, they say it's your fault for not being hot enough. They had too much liquor, and it's too cold in this room. Nah, you just limp, dude. Rigged primary. We read that one, I think, already. Here's the one called Wakanda Forever, Plain Jane. Bernie supporters don't want to admit that Bernie had a bad night because the youth didn't show up at the polls and the Democrats felt alienated by his divisive language. So out with the rigged primary excuses. Here, black women who don't give a fuck. Dear Bernie Sanders and supporters, there was no rigged primary. Black people rejected you. The period, fucking, period, end, period. Signed, one of the black women who refuses to join your racist tent. Wow. Here's one. Do I have this right? It was a huge hashtag rigged primary because registered Democrats showed up in vast numbers to vote for a longtime Democrat instead of an angry, divisive socialist who identifies as an independent. Bernie must have studied at Trump University because that's hashtag Trump logic. Michael Bloomberg took away hundreds of thousands of moderate votes from Biden for just staying in with no chance whatsoever, resulting in a smaller wins for Biden. Don't tell me the system is not against Joe. Really? Come on now. That was responding to the Elizabeth Warren took away hundreds of thousands of progressive votes from Bernie. Now, then the Russia stuff. We read this is Krasenstein, Obadiah. Oh my gosh, this is like the who's who. Don't fall for the Russian Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's Brian. It's either Brian Krasenstein or his uglier brother. Don't fall for the Russian propaganda hashtag rigged primary. It was created by Russian bots, Trump supporters to make Democrats question the DNC and election integrity. The GOP will do anything to win, and that includes working with Russia on stupid hashtags. Yes, they had a meeting. I'm sorry, they had a meeting. In fact, they did it in Kyiv, Ukraine. They had a meeting, a summit. The Russian National Committee, a delegation of 40 from the Russian delegate community flew to Kyiv, and the Ukrainians and Russians had a temporary ceasefire so that the Russians could come over to Kyiv and the delegation of 40 Republicans, and they sat down in this summit, the brightest minds in Russian and RNC politicians, and they sat down and eked out a hashtag strategy. Okay, they eked out a hashtag strategy for the next 40 days. Okay, and that hashtag strategy was the first hashtag they came up with, which they thought was a really good idea, and perhaps it may have worked at much better than they thought, was the hashtag rigged primary. Okay, yes, Mr. Krasenstein, you are a pathetic, pedantic pissant. Shut the fuck up, Mr. Krasenstein. All right, Dean Obadiah, Bernie or Bust 2020, rigged primary are hashtags designed by Trump, Russia, or people oozing with privilege, white or otherwise, who want to divide Democrats and re-elect Trump. It's that fucking simple. Dean Obadiah, people, thank you. Nicely done, sir. God. Oh, and then common sense. Oh, yeah. Okay, there's some people that have some common sense, too. All right, enough of that shit. Holy crap, these people are so stupid. Do I need this? Oh, by the way, the Democrats have already wasted over $1 billion with a B, $1 billion on failed presidential campaigns. That's a Breitbart headline. I don't need to read the article. Short-lived, Bloomberg finally quits the race after spending more than $500 million. See, $500 million was Mike Bloomberg. But it was his own money. He spent over $500 million to win American Samoa. Okay, we don't need... I'm just reading headlines now. That was that headline. Let's see, what's this one? Super Tuesday. Primaries put GOP closer to reclaiming a House majority. Oh, that's interesting. House Republicans had a good night on Tuesday where a powerful incumbent fended off a well-funded primary challenger, and the primary party picked up one African-American and several women candidates to challenge Democrats this fall. Yeah, the guy in Maxine Waters district. There's a dude that a black Republican that in California. See, they don't have Republicans and Democrats. They basically just have a primary, and then the top 2 or 3 candidates get to be on the ballot. Well, a Republican was one of those people on the ballot against Maxine Waters. Now, he didn't have a chance of hell to win. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Also, let's see, in Houston, 7th District, conservative African-American Army veteran Wesley Hunt captured the nomination to challenge incumbent freshman Democrat Representative Lizzie Fletcher, who flipped the seat just 2 years earlier. So anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of challengers now that are going to be running in these districts where they hadn't had challengers. That's interesting. Oh, and AOC's aligned progressive candidates also fell flat in Super Tuesday contest, including our buddy Cenk Uygur. Here we go. Representative Alexandra. I'm going to turn this down. I can't hear myself talk. Representative Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez's progressive candidates did not have a Super Tuesday in the first congressional primaries of the 2020 cycle. Democratic establishment, on the other hand, could breathe a sigh of relief after 3 primary challengers from Texas and California underperformed in highly anticipated contests against longtime Democratic incumbents and establishment darlings. A favorite of progressives across the country, Texas congressional candidate Jessica Cisneros, an immigration lawyer, came up just short of recreating the AOC primary upset of her own when she attempted to unseat 9-term incumbent Henry Sellier, who represents the Texas 28th District south of San Antonio. She played strong to her progressive roots and often referred to Sellier as Trump's favorite Democrat, also receiving high-profile endorsements from Democratic presidential candidates, including Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, she's one of those. She's one of those Justice Democrats types. Ocasio-Cortez herself tweeted Wednesday, "I'm so incredibly proud of Jessica Cisneros. At 26-year-old, she ran for office for the first time to offer Texas 28 new leadership that fights for workers, gender rights, and climate agenda. She stood up to the Koch brother money and incumbency, and she came closer than anyone imagined." Well, she lost, Alexandria, so there you go. Let's see. Meanwhile, Cristina Cinchin Ramirez, the progressive-backed candidate for a Texas Senate seat, is struggling to make it into a runoff, with M.G. Hager, the Democratic establishment's favorite pick, to face longtime Republican Senator John Cornyn in November. While no candidate won more than 50% of the vote in the race, returns show Ramirez locked in a battle with Texas State Senator Royce West for a place in the runoff with Hagar. Another AOC candidate, Georgette Gomez, did make the initial cut and qualified for the general election for California's 53rd district, located in San Diego County. However, she came in second with 19% of the vote against the establishment candidate Sarah Jacobs, who received 28%. In California, as one of the top 2 primary vote getters, Gomez automatically qualifies for the November general election. Yeah, they don't go by party. They just go by who comes in first and second in California. And then, of course, Cenk Uygur failed. So, Justice Democrats going down. Let's see. By the way, AOC's top advisor, Corbin Trent, abruptly exits her campaign. What the hell's going on here? What happened? A top advisor to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has abruptly left her campaign, the Post has learned. Freshman lawmaker's campaign spokesman Corbin Trent revealed a surprise departure when a reporter contacted him for comment on Sunday. His affiliation with AOC was also scrubbed from his Twitter account. Trent referred questions to AOC's campaign manager, Rebecca Rodriguez, who declined to comment. As a part of AOC's brain trust when she shocked the political world by ousting ex-representative and then Queens Democratic Party leader Joe Crowley in the 2018 Democratic primary, becoming the youngest woman elected to Congress. AOC, a Democratic socialist, has emerged as one of the most powerful voices on the political left in the U.S. Oh my God. No. Yeah, of the fringe left, which, is not a big group. Sorry. She's heavily favored to win re-election later this year in the 14th Congressional District, covering parts of the Bronx and Queens. I wonder, though, she has a couple challengers there. I don't know. And it's going to be tough because I don't think the Republican challenger there is, I can't remember who it is. Not like in Ilhan Omar's district, there's a Republican challenger who is has Arabic descent, and is really established in that community. Although she's a Republican, so that 5th district it's kind of like a snot rag with the D on it could win that district, but. Still interesting that there are people running against Ilhan Omar too. All right, I got to get to Twitter trends, which really I'm way behind as usual. That happens every day because I get caught up in my rants. Bye, Cynical Lindsay. See you later. But you know what? Hey, let's do a quick check of the Twitter trends. Also, thank you also Tyler F. For tweeting out the show. I think I got everyone else who did that. So everyone who helps me out by sharing this stream, it's great. We need 8 more to get 600. I think my upcoming videos that I'm going to be putting on Twitter and promoting the 60 Minutes article might ruffle some feathers and get me some viewers also. So we'll see what happens. Let's get into the trends. Today, coronavirus is still in the top of the tab. Let me put that up there. Coronavirus cases rise in Europe as global death toll exceeds 3,200. Okay, that's out of 7 billion people, but it's still something that we should be concerned about. But I do want to keep it in perspective at all times. In the United States last year, we had 18,000 people die from the common flu. So I don't know. I mean, it's absolutely something you need to be concerned about, but also, like I said, keep it in perspective. Trending #1 on Twitter since the last time I mentioned something on Twitter is "Thank you, Elizabeth." Now, are people going to be thanking her for dropping out or for her campaign? I think both Bernie and Biden supporters are going to thank her for dropping out. Now, let's see who it's going to be interesting if she decides to endorse somebody or not. She has super bad blood with Bernie, but is more closer to him philosophically. I guess we'll find out. Bye, DI. Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. I thought you'd never shut up. That's the top one right now. Crying Brassenstein says, "Thank you, Elizabeth." Failing campaign, and that's her persisting. That's a weird one. Her trying to put flex tape over and it goes right through her hand. Let's see, me going to the polls next month and to probably vote for Bernie Sanders, even though I think Elizabeth Warren would have been a better president, and she's just the best. Thank you, Elizabeth. These people pouting. I will forever be proud of E. Warren for making me believe in all the ways that we as a country can and should do better. She's taught me to dig deep, to be bold in sharing my opinions, and to hold others accountable. She's a fighter, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you, Elizabeth. Oh, that's so nice. The hell? You know what? I'm getting tired of this shit not working. Oh, everything's going down. What is going on here? Anyway, so some people are thanking her for being her candidacy. Oh my gosh, thank you, Elizabeth Warren. You were the most qualified candidate. You should have been president. You deserved better, but your fight mattered matters. You destroyed Mike Bloomberg, you wrecked Chris Matthews, and you will keep fighting for us like you always do. Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay. Oh my God, Wonder Warren. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's official. My girl E. Warren is out. The primary has been exhausting and has shown me there's so much work yet to do. MLK, whatever that means, when we have a nominee, let me know when we have a nominee. I'll vote for him. Warren, Democrat. Thank you, Elizabeth. Because she's Wonder Woman, or Wonder Warren, or whatever. That's just... Oh, gag me with a pitchfork. Holy moly. Anyway, yeah, Wonder Warren. Oh, I didn't do that. Anyway, moving on. That's trending number 1 right now. Trending number 2, Pit Mad. That's people who pitch possible, what is it? They pitch, good morning, Pitch Mad will kick off in about 30 minutes. We will post instructions. This is where they pitch stories. Okay, is it just me? Does that, okay. Okay, look at this GIF that they put up there. Is it just me? Is it just me? Just take the courage part off the bottom and watch this. Does that what? Okay, is it just what? Okay. Yes, it looks like what you think. Yeah. Anyway, these people pitch stories to whatever, to sell whatever. Thursday Thoughts is trending number 3. What's the Thursday Thought? I bet you something about Elizabeth Warren will be on Thursday Thoughts. Why is what's going on here? Everything. Okay, if nothing else, you're predictable. Thursday Thought, boycott the census. Okay, I don't even know who this is.
The other day, I tweeted out.
I'm not getting any sound. Hold on a second. That's what the problem is. Hang on. My volume is way down. So you can probably hear all that, and I can't. And my volume keys aren't working. There we go. All right. Here we go. So let me see something. Oh, it was there. Anyway. All right. Here's
boycotting the census. But before I did, I talked to my girlfriend about it, and we both concluded that the primary argument against that would be that we would be underrepresented if we did that. And that was the primary argument that I got against boycotting the census. But the truth is this: we're already underrepresented. If you consider the fact that a state like California is counting 8 or 9 million illegal aliens in its populace, then they're getting 6 or 7 seats in the United States Congress that they shouldn't get. They're getting 6 or 7 electoral college votes they shouldn't get. They're getting billions and billions of federal tax dollars they should not get. And I said we should all boycott the census, as in everyone who voted for President Trump because of his position on illegal aliens, because of his commitment to stop the inflow and the influence of illegal aliens in American society. Just imagine if everyone who voted for him boycotted the census. That would be enough people to invalidate the data. And the Census Bureau, the federal government, would have to ask what happened. And at that point, we the people would have our voice. We the people would make a difference.
I'm not following this logic.
You must complete the census survey. Go ahead, herd yourself into the pen with the rest of the sheep. But know this: you will never make a difference.
Okay, interesting. Otherwise, perhaps now that states are aware that they can prosecute immigrants with using false IDs, more justice will be meted out to satisfy sufferers. However, don't hold your breath that sanctuary states will take any action. That's an article in Liberty Nation. Another Thursday Thought here. Don't die of coronavirus without seeing this first. It's the finest clip you'll watch this year. Okay, it's a short one. Hang on.
Today, start working on not touching your face, because one main way viruses spread is when you touch your own mouth, nose, or eyes. Today.
Oh my God. That is beautiful. Let's see that
Start
again.
working on not touching your face because one main way viruses spread
I'm retweeting that
is when you
shit.
touch your own mouth, nose, or eyes.
All right, and then finally, this Thursday thought: confidence isn't walking into a room and thinking you're better than everyone. It's walking in and not having to compare yourself to anyone at all. Straight up, that is the greatest quote ever. I am retweeting that too. Awesome. All right, moving on. Let's get this done, baby. Love is Blind reunion. Apparently, the viewers react to the Love is Blind reunion. Must have been a reality show. I doubt if it's love between blind people, but let's see. Love is Blind, extreme form of... and the Independent says, why Love is Blind's extreme form of heterosexuality is so toxic. Society tells us that heterosexual love is normal. When you're ready to settle down, you get engaged, walk down the aisle, and say, I do. Well, reproduction doesn't necessarily require heterosexuality, but it certainly is... I don't know. Oh my God. Love is Blind's extreme form of heterosexuality is toxic. I've never seen the show, so I don't know. I love Amber, but she came on the show basically jobless and homeless and was surprised she ended up being financially dependent on Barnett. Where else were the fiancés going to come from? Love is Blind reunion. So Carlton really thought he had a chance with Diamond again after he told the woman her wig was sliding in front of millions. I'm done with... Okay, I don't watch the show, but that's just reading that was special for me. Moving on, number 5. Somos todos Gabriel Montiero. Something in Spanish, and it's all one word. Somos todos Gabriel Montiero. Who is Gabriel Montiero and why is he trending? English, please. I can't read Portuguese. Subratag. Okay, don't know. Negative feel. Okay, don't know. Does anyone know? Is that Portuguese? Does anybody read Portuguese or know what Portuguese? Okay, it's something in Brazil. It was trending number 1 for a while. Continue, Ferme Brother. Surreal. Okay, it's in Portuguese, and the thread reader even does it in Portuguese. Is there some translate shit I can do on here? Here we go. Let's do this. Let's see. I want to try and find it. Brazilian police officer who denounced colonels linked with drug faction may be expelled from police force. Today's video. It has something to do with that. I don't know. All right, we're gonna move on because I don't have time. Ayasa is trending. Is Ayasa some K-pop thing or some, I don't know. Okay, this is Bohemian. Okay, why is all my trending in another language right now? Did I click a wrong button? Okay, but that's Ayasa. Okay, I don't know. Patrice, help. First Take is trending. The First Take sports show is trending. Why? Stephen A. under the First Take desk while Meg Thee Stallion breaks down the Rockets record since trading Clint Capella. Okay, let's see what she says here.
For 10 years of giving to Boston Children's.
Oh, no. Oh, not. What is going on with these gifts? What the hell is going on with these gifts? Oh my gosh, we went from never mind. Meg really pulling on First Take. Where's Stephen A. and Max with Meg Thee Stallion on First Take? Okay, so she must have said something. Meg Thee Stallion is the new hot thing rap artist girl. Kind of took over for well, she's not taking over. She's hot out there right now. Meg Thee Stallion is on First Take dressed like she's going to read everything on her next contract. Yeah, she's the one who got really screwed on her contract. But okay, where is it though? I want to hear. They don't. Okay, they're not even putting her. They're not putting a clip. Anyway, we'll figure that one out later. But anyway, Stephen A. is Senator Elizabeth Warren's trending. We already know why. Jay Prince is trending. Jay Prince, the musician. Jay Prince is not a bully. He's just big on principle and keeping your word. You agree with 30%. He's not accepting 29%. And it'll be consequences if you try to play him. All he does is hold people accountable to what they agree to. That's it. Megan filed a lawsuit saying they were using Jay Prince to intimidate her. And what does this nigga do? Make an intimidating post. Okay, apparently there's a whole... Okay, if you're not familiar with this whole thing, there's a big old flap because Meg Thee Stallion, who's this music artist, might have signed a contract that is the worst I've ever heard ever. I mean, it's like 50s type thing where the person who's managing them signs them to a contract where the manager gets the music rights and, you know, this and that, and that the artist only gets a pittance of what they're owed for the hit music. I mean, it's terrible, and that's why that's trending. And so a lot of people are talking about it. Jason Peters, I don't know who that is. Let's see. Eagles are expected to let Jason Peters hit the free agent market. Sources say after 11 years with the team, 9-time Pro Bowl selection, could be headed elsewhere, though the parties will remain in contact. Okay. He's a tight end. Jason Peters is maybe leaving the Eagles. Let's see. Williamson County is what? Is that in Tennessee? No. Oh, Health Department says first coronavirus case in Tennessee is an adult male in Williams County. How did I know that was in Tennessee? Anyway, currently isolated at home with mild symptoms. So there is one. Of all the places in Tennessee, coronavirus picks Williamson County. Okay. They will not release what state the man traveled to. That's not sensitive information unless that state hasn't publicly announced any cases yet. Time will tell us why our state leaders are not being open with us. The case is in Williamson County. You know, again, okay, so they have one case in Tennessee, and I understand people's concern, but man, they're treating this like, I don't know. Anyway, with Warren is trending. Only reason I'm clicking this one. Oh, with Warren okay, we already talked. We did this one already. That was the one we did already. Oh, Brian Stelter says, with Warren, the dream of a female president dies again. A column by Molly Zhang Fast. Well, Brian Stelter, I'm sorry. I know it's a sad day for you and sad day for women everywhere, but nobody wanted her to be the president, so that's problematic, I guess. Okay, we already know with Warren. Moving on, Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is officially coming to PS4 on June 26, 2020. That's gaming news. Ghost of Tsushima. It looks like a, let's see, kind of a Genghis Khan-esque game. All right, there you go. Moving on, Hannity's trending. Uh-oh. Trump makes spurious claims about coronavirus in phone call to Sean Hannity. Of course, it's a CNN article because CNN right now, their whole shtick is they pretty much only God. They pretty much only talk about Fox News on CNN. That's kind of their business model, and it seems to be failing because their ratings, you know, if I want to watch Fox News, I'm not going to watch CNN to watch Fox News. I'll just watch Fox News, but I don't watch Fox News and I don't watch CNN, but I sure see a lot about it, both of them, on Twitter when CNN is writing it. Sean Hannity, Joe 30330, Biden baby sniffing moment. Yes, he's still sniffing kids. Kid sniffer Joe Biden. That might be his nickname by the time the nomination process is over. Although, maybe Bernie Sanders will bring up Joe's kid sniffing. Vicky Ward says, I hesitate to even print the president's words here because they are so at odds with what health experts are saying, but the president's statements to Sean Hannity are significant because millions of people were watching live. Well, that should make you happy because well, you're not the one, but some lady the other day was saying, you know, if I get coronavirus, I'm going to go to every Trump rally that I can go to. Oh, you lie, you stupid bitch. Anyway, Trump makes various claims about coronavirus in a phone call with Sean Hannity. But then Sean Hannity has the breathtaking ignorance of Barbra Streisand. Okay, I don't care. That's he's Sean Hannity's trending because of the Trump had something to do with it. Once a Frontrunner is trending. That's for Elizabeth Warren. Let's see. Fred Gutenberg. Okay, no. I want to find someone who has salty. Warren out. Okay. Once a front. Because everyone's retweeting the New York Times article. Hey, Brittany Packnet Cunningham says, remember when we had the most diverse presidential field in history? Yeah. Well, I'm the motherfucking D-O-double-G. I'm D-A-W-G though. Anyway, so they keep retiring. Once for Warren dropped out, we don't need that. But Hunter Biden. Oh, yeah, people are pissed. Oh, Krasenstein. Jared Kushner made $45 billion by changing policy for opportunity zones in areas where he owned property. And Ivanka got patents in China while Daddy threatened a trade war. But Hunter Biden legally got a job in Ukraine based on family fame, so his dad shouldn't be president. Oh, I see. He's being, what's the word? He's being ironic there. Yes, he's being ironic because, Hunter Biden. Now, okay, other people, but Hunter Biden will continue to be a talking point that will contribute to Joe losing to Trump. Two wrongs don't make a right. If you want to beat Trump, nominate a less problematic candidate. Bernie 2020. See, the Bernie bros are going to start talking about Hunter Biden too. Interesting. But Hunter Biden, holy crap, 3 years ago, Kushner's stake in Cadre was worth $5 million. He just sold it for $25 to $50 million after it benefited from opportunity zone tax breaks that Kushner pushed for. Oh, they're trying to see what they're trying to do there. See what they're trying to do. Do you think his stake in Cadre? Now, how much has the stock market gone up in 3 years? Just curious. Anyway, exclusive. Hunter Biden touted connections in 2019 while pitching UCLA law on letting him teach? What? Oh, Biden's hairy leg says, oh my God, Jared Kushner benefited from laws he pushed for, but right. Oh my God, but Hunter Biden did too. Everyone else, cool. Y'all are comparing which white privileged male is worse, but can I get some health care? So, yeah, we'll have to see how... I'm going to guess. We'll see what happens with this article. We'll see what happens with this. Because this is one of those wait 3 days articles. Wait 3 days and we'll get the real story. All right, moving on. Finishing up with Art Van... whatever that is. Breaking. Art Van Furniture plans to close all stores. Liquidation sales begin March 6th. I've never heard of Art Van. They're in Detroit, apparently. If you're in the Detroit area or maybe Greater Michigan, the Art Van Furniture is closing all of its location and beginning liquidation sales. You might be able to get a bargain on furniture. Someone tell Ranting Monkey. He lives in Michigan. I don't know. Anyone know where? I think, are there Art Van Furnitures all over Michigan or not? It says closing all stores. How many stores do they have? That's interesting. Let's see here. I'm gonna click and find out. Maybe it'll be early in the article. Art Van Furniture, a Metro Detroit institution and once the largest furniture retailers in the Midwest, will begin the liquidation process as it moves towards closing all of its company-owned stores, the company announced Thursday. Founded in 1959 with one store by Art Van Elslander, the Warren-based company now owns 190 stores in 9 states, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, and Ohio. Holy shitballs, Batman. All right, so if you live in Michigan, Indiana, Missouri, or Ohio, I would go check out what they're selling at Art Van's Furniture because they're closing that place down. They're liquidating. They're getting rid of everything. Everything must go 50% off and higher. Those big, weird yellow and bright colored signs will be out there. Sad that this sale, let's see, explores sale possible bankruptcy. Yeah, the liquidation announcement rocked Metro Detroit customers, employees, and city leaders, and comes just a week after media outlets reported that the retailer was exploring bankruptcy proceedings. All right. In 2017, Boston-based Thomas H. Lee Partners bought Art Van for $550 million, a year before the death of the founder, Art Van Elslander. So, Wow. That's 190 stores in 5 states. All right. That's that. All right, people. Let me check my notifications. I know I didn't do my... Okay, that's another retweet of a retweet. Oh, I retweeted that, and thank you, Necrosel Collins, for retweeting that. I didn't check the hashtag. I'll do a quick PDK news. Just to see if anything news there. News, get it? Anything's news there. Tyler F. Joe Biden. Oh! You know what? Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible news. Thank you, Tyler F. I am going to just show you this. Joe Biden promised to put Beto O'Rourke in charge of gun control. Is Joe Biden just trying to lose? Holy shit. Also, apparently, now there's another story that Joe Biden, let me find this because I'll do it quick and then I actually really got to get out of here. What the hell was that? Oh, hi. You're back. Okay, that freaks me out. Let's see, real quick, last one. This one. Buttigieg might have did something wrong, and where is it? Hang on a second here. Here's a problem. Here's something that is a problem, though, for Joe. Joe Biden offered Pete Buttigieg a job in his administration and may have broken the law in doing so. I think Joe may have forgot what he said, but when Pete Buttigieg dropped out of the Democratic primary on Sunday, he didn't immediately make any endorsement. Oops. He didn't immediately make any endorsement. While being interviewed on KHOU 11 News in Houston, Texas on Monday, Biden revealed he discussed giving Buttigieg a position in his administration. I did speak to Pete Buttigieg a couple days ago and encouraged him to stay engaged because he has enormous talent, and I indicated to him that if I became the nominee, I'd be coming to ask him to be a part of an administration to be engaged in moving things forward, Biden said. Buttigieg dropped out Sunday. If Biden's timeline is accurate, that he offered Buttigieg a position in his administration a couple days before his Monday interview, which would be Saturday, then Biden may have convinced Buttigieg to drop out in exchange for that position. Yes, we're talking quid pro Joe. Even if Biden offered him that position on Sunday after Buttigieg dropped out, the offer came before Buttigieg officially endorsed Biden on Monday. That would make the offer of a job in his administration illegal. 18 U.S. Code 599 is pretty clear on this. Whoever being a candidate directly or indirectly promises or pledges the appointment or the use of his influence or support for the appointment of any person to any public or private position or employment for the purpose of procuring support in his candidacy shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. If the violation was willful, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 2 years or both. Now, of course, nothing's going to happen because these are Democrats and probably it'll be swept under the rug. But let's see. And speaking of which, I don't expect anything will happen to Joe Biden for making an illegal job offer. Some would argue this kind of thing happens all the time. Former Governor Illinois Rod Blagojevich essentially argued the same thing about his attempt to sell Barack Obama's vacated Senate seat though obviously some prosecutors and juries disagree. And on that note, say goodbye to Quid Pro Joe. We're going to call him Quid Pro Joe instead of Creepy Joe from now on. Anyway, thank you all for being here on the Morning Night Live. I got to go. It's that time. If you have not done so already, please hit the like button on the way out the door, and also share the stream whether you are watching live or on the replay. If you're watching on the replay, please put a comment down in the section below so that I remember that you're here. By the way, those of you who do watch this on replay, thank you so much. That's very humbling that you would take your time to watch a stream that happened sometime in the past and you go back and watch it. I really appreciate that. If you missed the show, it's always there on YouTube. Also, just a last reminder that you sponsor the show through the PDawg Night.live link down below. If you those of you who've been very generous and donated to the show, thank you so much. And that is also how we do super chats here, whether you do it during the live show or during the replay. On that note, though, I gotta go. I'm running late. My name's PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Have a great day. Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.